I want to scale back a little bit. I want to talk a little bit more about what you guys are doing over at Lunar, because I know something you do really well is there's a lot of Web3 projects out there that struggle with getting actual traction. But you guys seem to have kind of cracked the code a little bit. How does Lunar help projects go from this is a great idea to actually having real users and real volume?
I think part of our magic, I mean, one, it's just we've been around a long time. So at LDA, we have about 45 team members. And then if you combine all of our various like portfolio companies and things that I'm involved in, like BitAngels and, Polygon grants and all this stuff, we've probably got 120 or more people that we could call upon when we need, support, intros, when we're trying to get to someone. I mean, so I think we've done a good job at building our network in the industry and understanding what works and doesn't work, which is, partially from our successes, but even more from our failures. We've had lots of projects. We've had 3 unicorns and we've had a lot of successes, but it's actually the failures that you learn the most from. On top of that, I think it's good actors are a little bit of a rare commodity in our industry, unfortunately. And I think that, I might strike a chord with some people, but like when we saw the Solana meme coin stuff happen, I think it kind of exposed our industry for who we really are, that we're a lot of gamblers and people that are more willing to be PvP and try to like take from someone else, and that's how you make your money. And that's just gambling, right? I'm not saying that like you're a terrible person. Everybody involved in that situation knows what they're getting into for the most part, other than the people that are kind of tricked into like thinking it's the future and really you're just gambling and, rugging people. But anyways, so it's like, I don't think these are terrible people, but I think it just showed that our industry wasn't so much about decentralization. And there's a lot of people that would drop that whole charade once there was money to be made in anything, and it doesn't matter what that thing is. So that's just part of my broader point, that it's hard to find good actors in our industry, people who've proven themselves over the years and who have like done the right thing when the times were hard. So like as an example, with QuickSwap, as a co-founder, I've never sold a single token, and I didn't understand tax as well, so I actually didn't file like an 83B or set myself up properly with that. So I actually had to pay taxes on all that, even though I never sold it and probably never will sell it. Oh, wow. And also from the QuickSwap Foundation, I mean, in our first year of QuickSwap, we generated 100 million in revenue for all of us, our various, this is not a legal word, don't take it as that, SEC. Not that we're as worried, I guess, these days, but for our kind of shareholders, you could call it, whether that's, the users of the platform, the stakers, the quick holders, all that. We generated 100 million in revenue, and still it's been now 6 years of QuickSwap, and I've never taken $1 personally from QuickSwap. I've rejected any kind of payment. And then, there's other projects. I mean, all of our pull from Polygon from our early days of that, we haven't sold any of it. Another project, Persistence, we incubated in the Cosmos. We haven't even asked for the tokens from the founder yet, and it's been like we worked with them for 3 years, and we've been not working with them for 2 years. So like, I think we've kind of proven that we're here for the community, and we're here for the long term, and I think that helps a lot. It opens a lot of doors for us.
Yeah, I mean, there certainly are benefits of being one of the good actors in this space. And I kind of want to get back to something you mentioned about learning from your failures. And as someone who's been doing it the right way now for some time, what's one of the most misunderstood parts you find of launching a token or a protocol that founders are consistently getting wrong, but you've learned how to go about it the right way through your own failures in the past?
Well, I would say one unfortunate part of the industry, and I'm biased here as we do marketing for companies, but one unfortunate thing I found is that I think a lot of people think if you have really good technology, it's like a field of dreams thing where if you build it, they will come, but it's just not the case. So Unfortunately, I think marketing in this industry is probably more important than tech at a lot of the times, at a lot of at least the stages
Yeah.
of a startup. So you can have great tech, but you better be able to tell the story, and tell it in a way that you can inspire kind of people to use it, to invest in it, and all of the above. Otherwise, doesn't matter how good the tech is. You might not get anywhere.
Yeah, I think that's something that goes oftentimes even outside of this industry. I mean, look at Fire Festival, right? Great marketing, no utility. And that's unfortunately the way of the world sometimes, is great marketing trumps something that actually doesn't really do anything, or does do something. But if you can't market it right, then, well, no one's going to know about it in the first place. I want to talk a little more about Lunar. You guys do everything from algorithmic trading tools to tokenomics consulting. What part of that stack do you feel is
Where
the
did you
most
find that?
overlooked,
That's
but maybe the
old.
most critical? I've looked at a lot of
The
stuff. But that's no good.
algorithmic
That's
trading
old
is
news.
like,
Good.
that was
That's
like
no
10
good.
years ago. Yeah, we don't do that anymore. But that was
You don't do it. Well, I'm
actually
glad to hear that.
a nice a failure that we learned a lot from, actually. That was one
There
of
we
our, so
go.
we were taking revenue from our incubating and our marketing, and we were funneling it into building these trading algorithms and trading tools. And we had Nomura Holdings in Japan, wanted to white label our strategy, and our CEO at the time, basically, it was so much pressure, he had a nervous breakdown and left the company, left us with a bunch of debt, actually. And a lot of our executives and team members left, and I decided to rebuild the company. People had been asking me to take over as CEO, actually, for a long time, but I was loyal and I didn't want to take the position since he brought me in as founder. But he left. I made all the investors who he had lost some of their money, I made them all whole. I personally gave them my own money and said, we're rebuilding the company. And now those are huge allies of ours. But yeah, that I learned a lot about that. I mean, trading algorithms, bots, tools is a really, really hard business and super cutthroat. And so I'm glad I'm not involved in that business anymore. But we are looking at investing in a company that does that. And now with the AI stuff happening, I think there's going to be a whole new kind of era of these kind of trading tools and algorithms and stuff. I think AI is going to really put a big spin on that. Now, we've already had AI or algorithms, what is like the old AI, in trading for 40 years. People have been doing that. But now using these new systems, these large language models and all this new era of AI, I think we're going to see like, I think these are going to kick the butts of a lot of traditional traders and make trading even harder for regular people. I don't suggest anybody trades, to be honest. Only less than 5% of traders make money. They mostly lose. And that's coming from someone who I've built multiple perpetuals platforms, one of the biggest dexes in the world, and stuff like that. And I generally tell people, don't trade. You're gonna lose your money most likely.
Yeah, absolutely. And with AI becoming just ever present and necessary, it seems like, especially with trading, what tools are you building at Lunar Labs for traders, and how do those stand apart from what's already out there currently?
So yeah, Lunar Labs is part of that old defunct section of our company that's no longer around. So we're not building any.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not building any of that anymore. Now we're
What
focused
kind of stuff
on.
are you looking at with AI though?
Oh, with
What are
AI.
you focused
So
on?
yeah, we've got a few companies we're looking at right now for AI. One interesting one is called AI Quant. This is the one that's doing this this AI trading type stuff. They're pretty interesting. I'm going to probably start by just putting, I don't know, low six figures into their trading algorithm and just see how it works for me personally before we decide to invest in them as a company. But that's an interesting one. I have no vested interest there. It's just an interesting one that we're looking at. Another one is Tachi, which is probably too complicated to explain here, but it's essentially like a way of doing kind of layer 2 type stuff on Bitcoin through these meta layers. It uses it's an iteration of Lightning Network technology, and it could bring a lot of AI capabilities to Bitcoin. Very interesting team. Again, I actually have no vested interest in that. We're not incubating them nor investing in them yet, but we likely will. Still finishing TD there. But what else in the AI? segment. Oh, Lusa, another one that we're not in yet, but probably we'll get into. I
Yeah.
kind of prefer not shilling the stuff we are in because then it's just shilling. But
Yeah, that's fine.
Lusa is a very
Totally.
interesting one by Dr. Adele and some other really big people. They have a 700K grant from Nvidia. They're part of the, I think, Nvidia Inception program. It's basically AI gaming platform. So you can build
Wow.
games using AI, and they've got a bunch of
Oh,
PhDs
cool.
and pretty high level people. They've got grants from, I think it's Nvidia, Google, Microsoft. I think they've got like 2 million from Google and Microsoft. These are mostly credits, so for computation. So it's not hard cash, just for disclaimer, but still pretty impressive. Um, yeah, that's an interesting one. But we haven't made our big plays in AI just yet, really. Um, we've been kind of looking at the field. We're not experts in AI, so something, we're still
Gotcha.
wrapping our brains around. I think most people are. But we weren't experts
Yeah.
in DEXs either when we launched QuickSwap and it became the biggest DEX in the world. So I think, there's a lot of things in this industry where if you understand the industry, you can get into other verticals and figure them out.